Morning, everybody, and welcome to the Victoria Real Estate Show. This week, it's just myself, Andrew Plank. Normally, we have Jane Johnston as well as my co-host, but we do have a great guest today, Devin Hutchinson from Hutchinson Contracting, and he will be on in just a few minutes after we've run through the stats. So let's just jump right into that. It is. Did I say it's the 1st of June, 2023? I think I'm supposed to do that. If I didn't, there you go. So what have we got? We've got today, June 1st. So we have actually the full month-end stats already for the month of May. So in the month of May last year, we had 761 unconditional sales versus 775 this May, which is actually interesting. We've actually had more sales now than last May. So that's actually a pretty good sign. New listings on market currently is 1,356. That's a little bit less, about 80 less than 75 less than last year at 1,531. I'm not sure about my math. Don't correct me. And active listings 2,189 currently versus 1,776. So we're definitely a lot more activity, active listings, but still low, as we've said many times, in terms of the average, what we normally would be seeing in a sort of more calm market, which we actually haven't seen for years. In terms of new listings here, June 1st, in the last week, we've had 313 new properties go live. 175 properties went pending. So that's over half of the properties listing are selling in terms of our ratios, which is good to see. 88 price decreases, so still a lot of price decreases. It's definitely a price-sensitive market. And going down past solds, we see that there's 49 expired properties. So again, not everything sells, but the odds are pretty good. So without further ado, I know everybody's got things to do today, so we're going to bring in our guest here, Devin Hutchinson, and he's with that. Hi, Devin. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Andrew. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. So you're with Hutchinson Contracting. Do you want to tell me a little bit about your company and who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. We're a general contracting company. We've been here in Victoria for about 6 years now, five years. Mm-hmm. We focus mostly on renovations, but we do some new construction, some commercial work. Yeah, we used to have a big crew of guys and worked on more construction related projects, and now we're focusing mostly on just the management of projects and trades. So it's we're right in there.
So you don't have your own crews anymore. You're bringing people in. So that's sort of a new thing, is that? Or
it's a shift that we've made. The crew, it was great before, but it was just it was COVID. Because it was so busy, COVID, it was hard to manage these guys, and there was the labor shortage was so great that we just, trying to keep good guys and trying to keep them motivated was tough because they never, they had tons of opportunity, and it was, we felt that the best way was just to focus on our strength and focus on the management projects.
Yeah. So this makes you more nimble and more, and I suppose you can control quality a little bit more simply because you're not stuck with, I guess, folks you can actually choose from the best and
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So for someone who's not really familiar with what it means to be a contracting company or to hire a contracting company, can you give me just talk to me like I'm a kindergartner and tell me what you do?
Sure. So essentially, someone has an idea, but they want to, invest into their home or change their atmosphere, and they want to do a big renovation or build a new home. They call someone like us. Some people come from different areas. Like some people have experience with reno. Some people have watched HGTV for the past 15 years, and some people some people have a really solid idea of what they want.
Right.
So what we do is we come in, I meet with the client, we kind of walk through what they're thinking about, what their goal is, and then I'm able to put together an initial high-level proposal for them. Mm-hmm. Then I'll release that to them online. We have an online CRM tool called Buildertrend, which essentially is a submersive construction management tool. So I release it to them online. They get the initial proposal, and then if they're happy with that, they would sign a pre-construction agreement, and then we would help in go through all the planning of the project, including the building plans, surveys, property analysis, engineering, and then in for permitting, and then finally into design. We have an in-house designer, and we work with a few local designers as well. And then once I'm able to gather all that relevant information, we're able to update the budget for them, and then begin construction. And then it's all the way, it's turnkey service, so all the way from project development down to professional cleaning and landscaping.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, it's nothing worse than a mess at the end of the project.
Exactly. We got to make sure that we, track it all the way. We do. It's about, time, quality, and costs, or the trifecta there. So it's a bit of a balance. Trying, you can only really do two. So it's important to kind of establish that expectation with the client at first, and figure out what's most important for them, and then tailor each individual project to their needs.
You said time and budget, was it? What did you say? The three?
Time, quality, and cost.
Time, quality, and cost. Yeah.
So those are three things. So you can have two of them, right?
Yes.
You can do it really cheap, but the quality might be not as good, or you can do it really fast, but the cost is going to be up, right? So you got to choose two of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And it strikes me too, like when you described everything that you do, when you think about contracting, you think, we're going to bring these folks in, they're going to just do some work for us, and that's the work. But it sounds like the front load of it, all of that organization, all of the gathering of the permits and the planning and the, bringing in the experts, like that's, not to discount the actual work that goes into the construction, but the actual front loading of that work sounds like there's a lot going on.
Yeah. It's about the same amount of time.
Right.
Roughly. Right. It's about all the time that goes into it. And because how we see it is that, it's all about being able to, it's all about adaptability when you're doing, when you're managing projects and construction, right? Things always come up, whether it's a renovation or new construction. So it's really important to have as many things, figured out and controlled from the beginning. So you have the space to be able to adapt and make decisions on the fly, and you're not constantly having to change or figure things out as you go.
Yeah. Adapt within certain parameters that you've already kind of identified, but then
exactly.
You also don't have tail wagging the dog, because obviously, I just worked with a contractor years ago. We had a big renovation in our home, and it's the scope creep. Like, oh, what about this? Hey, what if we did that?
Yeah.
And unless there's a really clear plan and it's well thought out in advance, it can really go off the rails. It's that old carpenter saying, measure twice and cut once, right?
Yep.
So you want to have it all planned out first before you start to tear it apart.
Yeah, exactly. And that takes time. And that's it's tough because sometimes you go through that whole process and then things change or interest rates go up and now it's not feasible, right? So that's one of the things that we've really noticed and it's really become present in our path, especially over the past 6 to 8 months with, interest rates, during COVID, interest rates, as everyone knows, were down, 2%, 1.5%. 2.5%, and now when it's up to like 5 or 6, it really changes the metrics, right? So projects that we had been planning out for a year, we had a small home development, and now it was ready to go, and then they had to pull out, and it's a year of planning and work that goes into it. So it is disappointing and it's hard, but it's just part of it.
Would you say that's one of the challenges you're facing? Are there any other, that sounds like a pretty major challenge?
It is a major challenge. People that are coming into it now understand what it is, but it's the people that started planning in August and ready to build this summer, and now they can't. That's the tough situation. People that are coming into it now, it's starting to settle a bit, or at least settle in about what it is, and people are managing their budgets and money differently. So it's, but yeah, that has been a big challenge.
Excellent. Not excellent, but good to know. That's What do you anticipate the future holds for not interest rates, but I guess for the industry, and any other challenges that you're seeing that you want that we might be looking at coming down the road?
Well, I think that it's going to be a little bit of give and take. I think that one of the things that COVID had lots of super negative impacts, obviously on the entire world. One of the positive things was dropping interest rates and rising house prices. Was like the construction industry essentially became an essential worker status, and yeah, it just blew up, right? So it was really good for lots of people to be able to take advantage of that and really grow their business. But the thing is that it also set, everyone could become a contractor, and everyone had so much work that, the quality went down and people's expectations went down, and trying to get, employees was impossible. And, so it was really, it was a tough balance to make. It's a little bit of give and take. So one of the positive things I think about the rising interest and construction slowing down just a little bit, is that some of those people will get weeded out, and people are starting to respect the little guys more in terms of like the little projects. They're starting to respect those projects more, and I think it's a super positive thing for the client, because they can feel that they have a little bit more importance, and they don't feel like they're being kind of pushed to the side as much.
Exactly. You're kind of the right size company in the sense that you're not just you're not someone who's just gotten into the business. I was looking at your website, by the way, and HutchinsonContracting.ca, everyone. It's a great website. I was really impressed with it. Lots of good information. But you can tell that you are a going concern and that you're established. When you hire someone that isn't really too established or doesn't have a reputation, that's hard. But also when you're hiring a big company, as a small fish, as the client, you feel like you could be forgotten or not so important, or just can't afford that kind of company or that process. I mean,
exactly.
A little bit more, I would assume you're a little bit more tailored in what you can do.
Yeah. We're about the experience. Like we have a theory that we can enjoy the end product. So I know it's cliche, but we try our best to enjoy the journey.
Okay.
Building relationships and that kind of stuff is what we're here for. So
what's your favorite kind of projects, and do you have any that you've made that you can kind of speak to, or?
Favorite kind of project? Well, we like impactful projects. There's certain projects that we've done a big custom home that was like a $2 million project, and that's great, and it feels good, and it scratches the old ego and everything. But we've also done lots of work for Say Out First Nations as part of Trudeau's reconciliation program, kind of finding new homes for people, and then gutting their home and renovating it in no time on a tight budget, and then bringing them back in and seeing like real impactful change. We're starting a project coming up here this summer with in partnership with Herald Engineering. We're doing a co-op housing. We have 40 units we're refitting. So these are people from all socioeconomic backgrounds and things that there's lots of immunosuppressed people and things like immunocompromised people. So it's going to be it's a logistical thing.
Yeah, challenging to be working in those, they're obviously they have to move out for this, so they're not in.
No, we have one unit. We have one unit to spare, and some people will be moving out, but we're going to have to coordinate these. Like there's some community kitchens available and things like that, but we're going to have to coordinate this. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a logistical project for sure.
Right. Amazing.
Yeah.
So good for you. That's just, that sounds like such a worthy project, and and interesting, and just, something you can just really sink your teeth into. Have you watched there's a great show called the what's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and they actually, part of it is they take someone, they renovate the person, but they also renovate the person's house.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Because what you're describing really sounds like people come into their home and they're like, oh my God, what happened? This is amazing. What have you done?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's such a rewarding experience to watch these people, their faces light up, and just know that their lives are changed. And, you do that on a different scale. I mean, some people pay you big dollars to do that, but you do that on a different scale, for everyone you work for, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's that's what we like to see, people are actually affected by it in, a positive way, it helps.
Right. Is that Scott in the background?
That is Scott in the background. Yeah.
Hi, Scott.
He can't hear you because I'm in my headphones.
Oh, you're in your earphones. Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
Scott came. We went and watched with my business partner Josh and his family and such, and Devin's family. We went and watched Come From Away play, which was super
fabulous.
So good.
So good. I was shocked, actually.
I was not. I mean, I was expecting something because I know it's well respected, but it just blew me away. Yeah.
I know. Amazing what they can do with like a few chairs and a couple hats. Like, it was phenomenal.
Each person running like 3 or 4 accents for changing characters. And
I know.
Anyway,
yeah.
I think so. We're one question for you would be, someone wanted to hire a contractor or a builder. Let's say you put yourself into the hat of the person who's going to be hiring a company like your own, not necessarily your own company, but just they have in mind a renovation or a project.
Mm-hmm.
What should they be looking for? What should they be asking? What are the questions that don't get asked that should be? Help us out to understand.
Well, there are certain questions and things that would help kind of weed out certain people, but I think the most important piece is the connection. You are going to be entering with a partnership. It is important to check references and look at past projects and make sure that they have a fundamental understanding or of what you're trying to achieve. But the most important thing is, like, you are going to be entering a partnership with this person, and you are going to have to trust this person to protect your investment. And so and it's going to get stressful. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be hard. So you have to make sure that you're going to be able to be with someone who you can trust to kind of go through that with you. Because it's inevitable. It's a tough situation. It's generally the biggest investment you will ever make in your life, other than buying your house. In most cases, it is a big deal. In most cases, it's people's life savings. It's everything they've ever worked for, or all that they can possibly borrow.
Yeah.
So it is important to have that relationship and have that connection with someone beyond the price, right?
Absolutely.
Some people, it's not about, we're not building a NASA spaceship here. It's not going to go to the lowest bidder. We need to find the person that you're going to be able to connect with.
This is exactly the same advice that I give to clients as well. And it's funny how many people will go to choose based on price, or they just see, all these, whether it's a contractor or a real estate agent, as, equal, items you could pick up off a shelf. I just want a can of beans, and I'll just choose from the cheapest.
Exactly. And the other thing is that, like, it essentially, it's pretty much industry standard to be doing cost plus work. There's some there's some outfits that still will do set price work, which is fine. All respect to them, but some people will base it just on management fees. So, okay, this company charges 15%. This company charges 20%.
Right.
Okay, so that's 5% more, but what is that 5% getting me? So, okay, this company is just a contractor in a truck who's going to, handle everything, or this 20%, I'm getting an accountant, I'm getting a project manager, I'm getting a coordinator, I'm getting a warranty, I'm getting all these other things. So it's important to kind of see, as you're talking through them, what you get for that price.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately it.
Yeah. And if you can coordinate and organize something that is done faster, more efficiently, better quality, then 20% of $500,000 is better than 15% of $1 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of these things come down to, it's not just about price, and certainly all the time in my own industry as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny, the parallels as we talk, we've also seen a lot of people coming in, and this happens in our industry whenever there's a boom in real estate, and you see the same with contractors. We see a lot of new agents come in, they're new, they're fresh. They see how many homes are selling, and they think, well, I can do that, and they can. But then when things get hard or tough, or it's no longer as easy, they don't have the systems, they don't have the drive, they don't have the background, or they're going to look for the next easy thing and move on to that. So
exactly.
And, you know, good on them. You know, so some people will move to Alberta to make money in the oil patch because that's where the most money is, and then they'll move somewhere else and do something else, and they'll do great. But you're not, if somebody hiring these people aren't necessarily getting the best service, and they're not going to get someone who's actually a committed business person looking to make a reputation in the community.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on. Is there anything else you want to sort of say or make sure everybody knows about you or the company?
No. We're an open book. We're happy to make connections with anybody. So if there's anybody who just wants to reach out and have a conversation or ask some questions, we're always happy to do so. I think there's a bit of a stigma with contractors and construction. Kind of people want to hide their information and kind of keep to themselves and don't give on too much to the competitors. But we feel strongly that it's important that there's a standard being set, and it's open book. So feel free to reach out to us if you guys have any questions at all about anything.
Wonderful. Hey, thanks so much, Devin. I appreciate it. So if someone wanted to reach you, do you want to just let us know how you can be reached?
Well, you just threw up this tag here at the bottom. That's my personal cell phone number. So feel free to reach out to that one.
Okay.
And
do you have a company number too that you want to share?
Sure. 250-900-0215.
Okay. So just because we have some people listening and not watching,
yep.
Do you want to give people your email address and website as well?
Yeah, my email address is Devin, DEVIN @hutchinsoncontracting.ca. That's HUTCHINSON contracting.ca. And my email is just www.hutchinson. Oh, sorry, my website is www.hutchinsoncontracting.ca.
Excellent. Thanks so much for coming on, Devin. Really appreciate it, and really great to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you guys very much.
All right. Take care, man.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody. Well, thanks so much for that. And so that was our show. And I'm going to say, if you want to reach out to myself, I am Andrew Plank. I am licensed with Royal LePage, and you can reach me. I'm now a member of the Vibe Real Estate Group, and you can reach me at 250-360-6106, or email me at info@andrewplank.com, and the website andrewplank.com. The blog section has copies of all of these video broadcasts as well. And then Jane Johnston was not here today, but let's just, in honor of her, because she will be back, give her contact information as well, just for fun. So Jane Johnston at 250-744-0775. BriarHillGroup@gmail.com is how you reach out by email. Check out her website, BriarHillGroup.com. And then she's got a bunch of other ways to contact her. I'm not going to go into the details on that. She can do that next time. We are both individually licensed, different brokerages. We're not a team, but we do get together every week to talk about real estate, and we just enjoy it. So thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you next week.